Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And today's our live Q&A day, so feel free to ask any questions that you might have. If you have a question you want to have asked privately, you can use the Linktree link in my bio on my TikTok channel or on my YouTube. Under the description of most of my videos, you'll find a Linktree link. If you want to ask a private question, you can certainly do that through Linktree. It's interesting. I had God come to me on meditation this morning, and he said, I have the answer to every question that anyone has ever asked me, but they don't seem to know how to listen. And I said, what do you mean they don't know how to listen? He said that everyone asks a question, but they look for the answer in their own mind. They search what they know to find answers from me that are not within what you know. If you want to hear me answer your questions, then it's important you learn to hear the answer correctly. You will not find it in what you remember. You will find it outside of what you know. And I thought that was really appropriate that he would come with that understanding, that we would learn to look outside of thinking that we can find the answer in what we already know. It's true. A lot of people are trying to figure out the answers to their questions themselves from your limited knowledge. And if you can learn to really listen, you'll have a chance to really have the divine connect with you. Let's see, should we try something a little different? Good. Good morning, everybody. Hi. So yeah, we are at this very fascinating time. I hope you've been enjoying the ascension energy influx for the last 10 days. I want to say that it's going to slow down for the next 3 to 4 days. We're going to have a little bit of a breather from these energies that are coming in from the sun. So enjoy the respite. You know, I enjoy the increased energies. I don't know about you guys, but it's really nice to have all this extra energy for your meditations, for healing your body, for making better choices, because the energies that are coming in right now will amplify your dominant thoughts and emotions, that you hold consciously or unconsciously. It will also enhance the dominant predispositions that your body is in based on the way you've been treating it. So if you've been treating your body really, really well, then the elements of treating your body well will be amplified. And if you're not treating your body very well, then the negative elements of the body will be amplified. And the same thing is true for your thoughts and your emotions. If they're high vibrational thoughts, high vibrational emotions, they're going to get amplified. If they're low vibrational thoughts, low vibrational emotions, they're going to get amplified. And everybody's wondering, you know, what's going on? Why do I feel this way? And it's really simple. There are energies bombarding the planet, and this happens about every 12,000 years, where these massive inflow of energy for the existing species of that time has the opportunity to elevate their consciousness up, or they crumble down into the despair of their old models of self. But I don't think that's going to happen for everybody. It doesn't happen for everybody. Because if you raise your consciousness enough, then you're going to find yourself in a very different position than most people find themselves in. If you look at all the different animals that scientists have discovered, the fossilized remains of great beasts that we've never physically seen with our eyes, and we see remnants of these beasts like the monitors and lizards and snakes and some of the bears and larger mammals that are still remnants of once great animals that were the size of small houses that roamed the earth on a regular basis. Where did they come from in the first place? Where do new animals, new life, new entities come from in this dimension? And I've been told they come from these changes, these ascension energy. They come and they alter the structure of what produces and manifests life. So your DNA, your psychology, your emotions, they're all being affected by these ascension energies. And they can elevate your spiritual gifts, or they can diminish your spiritual gifts depending on the vibrational state of your consciousness, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Good morning. Hi, good to see you. Yeah, wonderful time. So in about 4 or 5 days, we're going to have another uptick with these ascension energies. These ascension energies give you the opportunity to move into a higher state of happiness and well-being and a greater potential of creativity. Because when you can harness energy the correct way, you're going to be able to do more with your life. Hi, guys. Yeah, a lot of people have been really struggling with it. Headaches, coughing. Your body's only going to report the symptoms that represent the dominant state of your consciousness, right? So someone's just saying that they really love when these energy comes in, and I love when the energy comes in, because meditation, you get more information and knowledge and wisdom in meditation when these energies increase from the what you call the sun in the sky. It's a living entity. It's a consciousness, just like the earth is a living entity and a consciousness, just like your body is a living entity and a consciousness, just like your awareness, you soul, are a living entity and a consciousness. And these energies always flow from a higher potential to a lower potential. Energy always flows from a higher potential to a lower potential. And you can liken that to like a car battery, 2 car batteries side by side. And one car battery is set at 6 volts. It's only got 6 volts of power. They're both 12-volt batteries, but one's only got 6 volt, but the other one has 12. And if you hook them together, the charge from the one that's at 12 will flow down to the one that's 6 and bring it up. Now that's a pretty crude allegory for what's happening with the sun. The sun is such a phenomenal potential that when you can hook into the ascension energies coming into it, you can raise your consciousness significantly. You can even shorten the duration of time you have to spend evolving your consciousness, because this energy will lift you up if you're really working on being connected to love, to joy, to creativity, to compassion, to kindness. And I hope you do. I really hope you do, because you can save yourself many lifetimes if you take opportunity to use these ascension energies as they are now, because generally speaking, the planet does a very different change if the energies are positive than when the energies are negative. So please be mindful of that in your meditating and how you treat your body, the thoughts you feed your mind, the emotions you feed the world, right? Because your emotions create actions that cause you to do the stuff you do, right? You tell me that all the time. People don't realize that. Good morning. Hi, guys. Hi. I love looking at the sun early in the morning. Oh yeah, sun gazing. Yeah, that's a really fun, wonderful thing. That's from Ali San. Looking at the sun for the first 6 to 12 minutes in the morning, when the sun's just coming up over the horizon. Over the horizon, it can't be up in the sky high, but over the horizon, you can stare and look at the sun for the first 3 to 12 minutes as it's coming up over the horizon. And just as it's beginning to drop down behind the horizon at sunset, you can actually look at the sun. It's called sun gazing. And you can Google that, sun gazing. And there are people that have been reportedly able to train their body back into photosynthesis and live off the energy of the sun and water exclusively. There are also beings on this planet called breatharians that do the same thing, that do not need to eat food. Can you imagine if humans didn't have to eat? If we could live exclusively off the energy of the sun or the energy of your breath, could you imagine? We wouldn't have to cannibalize the planet anymore. It'd be a very different planet. It was like that back in Eden, right? It was like that in Atlantis and places. Very fascinating. Yeah. I love that too. Sun gazing is a beautiful thing. It's a great idea. Hi there. Is a trailer, should I buy it to live in? I highly recommend that. Getting away from the larger metropolises is a very good idea. At this time, it's a very good idea to get away from the larger metropolises. There are things that men have set in motion that are going to be very difficult for a lot of people to fathom, because most people have just accepted what they've been told to believe is true. And that's not your fault. I mean, you think about it, they put you in school at age 4, age 5, sometimes earlier, daycare. And they teach you to follow the instructions in the direction of someone outside of you. And so most humans have been conditioned to believe that that's the way to figure your life out, by listening to something or somebody outside of yourself and following their instructions and listening to what they tell you, because they're going to tell you what should be true, right? And unfortunately, about 65% of the population are entrenched in that model of learning. So most people are unhappy and frustrated because they're looking out there to find answers about themselves, which can only be found within you, right? But it's a trailer park's a good place to be. Find a trailer, a piece of land, build your own homestead. You want to consider all of these things as possibilities. Learn to grow your own food, or find a way you can live in a climate where you can be around places where food grows freely and readily. Again, things have been set in motion that are just beginning to unfold before our very eyes. The sudden uptick in heart problems around the world is just one small example of the capabilities that these individuals had to set in motion. And these individuals, they know who they are, did so under the belief that the problem of the planet was overpopulation. The problem with the planet has never been overpopulation. The problem with the planet has been the form in which we have learned to govern ourselves or to govern others. That has been the challenge. And you got wonderful people like the new Argentinian president, Milei, coming into power. He's a libertarian, a free market capitalist. That was probably the most effective system for creating a way for everybody to make a living from the efforts of their own consciousness. And there's also those things happening, really beautiful things happening, wonderful people coming into power that can free people from government and free people from corporate rule and regulation. Because now governments around the world are no longer run by the people, they're run by corporations and boardrooms. And that's really unfortunate. But yeah, for you, it will be a really joyful and exciting process for you. But if you're going to do anything new with your lives, do so without fear. Be fearless. Whether you're buying a homestead or a mansion, whether you're buying a trailer park or a piece of property, whatever you choose to do it with joy and excitement and enthusiasm, because that's what it's going to take to make it really become your vision of it. But yeah, that would be really good for you. We got a question from, thank you, Drusilla. So if you have a question, put the word question before your question. And that way I've conditioned my mind so that when I see the word question, my mind will go to that. And then I know there's a question being asked. But if you just put a question in, I'm not necessarily going to see it. So whether you're on TikTok or YouTube or Facebook, pre-text your question with the word question. You can also support this channel too by using the super chat feature on YouTube, or you can use the Linktree link on my TikTok bio and ask a question directly through my PayPal as well. I want a motorhome, so I want a motorhome. Motorhomes are really good too, but of course with motorhomes you got to be very mindful, because the way human collective unconsciousness is going right now, the sun reacts just like if somebody pokes you in the arm, it gives you a poke in the arm or the leg, and they hurt you. You react to it. What do you do that for? Our emotional energy, individually and collectively, emits a field. That field causes effects in the immediacy of your own life. When you go into an emotional state, whether it's joy or excitement or sadness and depression, whenever you allow yourself to get attached to an emotion, that emotion functionally causes a reaction in time and space. In the human condition, it causes behavior, the way we speak, the way we think, the way we walk, the way we talk, what we do not do. Every action of a human being is connected to some form of an emotion, right? And the sun and the earth are reacting and responding to our collective emotions as a species. So the sun, it's been historically documented, the sun produces these things called solar flares, which are massive contributions of electromagnetic energy. Now, it's doing that all the time right now. You go out to that beautiful sun and you can feel the radiant warmth upon your body. And you just sit and you go, you're so grateful for that sunshine. That's electromagnetic energy. And in that electromagnetic spectrum is gamma rays, cosmic rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays. There are many different types of bandwidths of energy that come from that sun that affect and influence our biology. But so too, our emotions interact with the sun and interact with earth and will cause responses from them. And right now, the dominant emotions of fear and anger, guilt and shame that are prevalent throughout human collective unconsciousness, about 68% of the human species is in some form or degree of living in fear every day. And that 68% is directing the activities of the sun, just as the 32% of individuals that are generally in a good state, a creative state, they're excited about life, they're doing their own thing, they're living their dreams, are also doing the same thing. But what's happened, this imbalance is going to cause a reaction from the sun, just like someone that you love, if they're feeling upset or hurt, that they cause a response from you to care for them, right? If they're angry at you, they might cause a response from you where you're going to get angry back at them. Action, reaction. So the dominant emotional state that you spend your days and nights in are going to affect and influence. So the electrical elements in our society right now, computers, automobiles, satellites, all these things are going to be affected depending upon the nature and quality of the reactions that we experience from the sun in response to the emotional emanations of our collective unconsciousness. One of the purposes of this channel is to get humanity to consider restoring, one person at a time, restore yourself to love, restore your energy to love. That doesn't mean you're not going to experience some difficulties in life, but that's something different than the unnecessary suffering that comes from incorrect thinking or judgment or fear or guilt or shame. But yeah, you want to be mindful. If you're going to get an electronic vehicle or a motorhome, I would highly recommend that you get a Faraday cover for it. You can actually buy Faraday material on Amazon and get some Faraday material and very sensitive electrical elements you want to protect with Faraday material because you want to reduce the amount of electromagnetic interference or intrusion that might potentially happen between now and May of 2044, which is what we were told, that if humanity can't shift its collective unconsciousness back into balance with fear instead of an imbalance, more fear than love, if we can't shift it back by around May of 2044, we will see what's been generally known as a polar shift, an electromagnetic shift of our polar electromagnetic field. The magnetic field of the earth will shift to a different position, which will cause the earth to physically shift. Again, there's so much scientific data out there to validate that this has happened in the past before. What there has not been data for is, why has it happened? Why does it happen? And one of the reasons it happens is because the element of emotional collective unconsciousness, energetically, our energy interacts with time, space, and matter. And they're proving this now. I've been watching these wonderful videos where they can take sound waves, and it's called cymatics, and they can take sound waves and they can change the structure of water, the structure of sand or salt on a steel plate. And it's quite a fascinating thing to realize that just a sound wave can take something like water and make it change the way it's flowing through the air, or take the pattern of sand on a plate that's vibrating with the sound transmitted into it to form beautiful, complex patterns. That just your voice can organize changes in matter all the time. Think about what your emotions are doing. Your emotions of fear, your emotions of love, your emotions of joy, what they do to your body, what they do to our environment, right? There's not one action of human interaction with the world that is not based in emotion. Every human interaction, every human creation, every human function, every thought you speak has to have an emotion behind it in order for it to be set in motion. There has to be something to set something in emotion, and that's what emotion does. It is in motion. Motion, in motion, energy in motion. Wow, let's see. We'll go to that. So yeah, but motorhomes, trailers, homesteads, private property, in-ground homes. You want to become independent and learn to grow your own food again, right? The global governments are also, you can see, if you look in the Western world, how things are really beginning to change because the governments are not functioning from love. They're functioning from authority, power, and control. And of course, that has its own effects in time and space. I understand that. Will I be able to go to India this summer to visit Sal Rasha's ashram? I get a strong yes. Of course you are able to. The question is, do you believe you are able to? Of course you are able to come to the ashram. You are always welcome there. You are able to go there, whether you have enough belief in yourself to effect that action. This is the question. Do you have enough belief in yourself to do this? For if you truly believe that you will do this, then we will see you there. We will see you there with great joy. You'll be welcomed with open arms. Yes, wisdom and knowledge are very important. Thank you for that question. Thank you for the answer. Tiffany's asking, still trying to get my friend Philippe into an opioid detox facility. He doesn't seem in touch with reality, hasn't slept for 5 days. Any suggestions? Thank you. Let me just tune into his energy. Yeah, the intense underlying emotional fear that he's holding in his subconscious field is so intense. His fear and his pain internally are so intense that he only believes the way to heal that pain inside himself is using these substances. And a lot of people believe that the only way, because remember, think about this, every single person, most people in the Western world are trained by educational systems that have as a model that all the solutions to your problems, all the answers to your questions will come from outside of you, from the teacher, from your parents, from the job. You've been conditioned. He's been conditioned. We've all been conditioned to believe, well, most of us have been conditioned, not all of us, have been conditioned to believe that most of what you're going to need to have the answers and the comforts of your life will come from outside of yourself, your government, your schools, your doctors, your medical systems, your unemployment insurance. You've been raised to believe that the only solutions to dealing with your internal emotions is outside of you. That's why most people go to pills and go to drugs, go to alcohol, because they're looking to find the solution for their inner turmoil from the outside, which is the way they were trained, that you'll find the answer out there. But the answer is literally to go within. If you really want to assist your friend, you want to be present with him. Be present with him and have him connect to his emotions. He has to be sufficiently stepped back. He has to be in the place where the urge for that stuff, the opioids, because I was a user of methamphetamine for about 5 years when I was younger. So I understand the pull of wanting that intense pleasure, because I had no mechanisms for understanding how to deal with the internal conflicts and emotions. But if you can get him to do this, Tiffany, to sit down, go inside and have him feel his emotions, like literally have him go inside. And this does not mean that he'll stop his addiction, but it means he'll experience something different inside himself than he's ever experienced before. So have him do this. Have him go inside to where he feels his fear, his anxiety, his pain, his sadness. Have him go into where he feels it and have him speak or think these words to the sadness, to the fear, to the shame, whatever he's holding inside. and have him speak or think these words in an internal tone of voice that sounds like he means it. And these are the words here. I'm willing to love you even if I do not understand you. And even if I do not understand you, I'm willing to love you. Have him speak those words and make certain that when he speaks or thinks those words, he does it in an internal tone of voice. That is, the voice he uses inside his head is very sincere. Because your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between reality or fantasy. And so doing this will be very beneficial for him. He'll begin to experience a shift in his internal emotion. Because right now, he's using an external substance as a mechanism to deal with his internal emotions. Because he was trained that way, that if you want a problem solved, you'll find the answer out there in the world. But the answer, you are the answer, by the way. Every one of you is the answer to your own problems. You really, truly are. But get him to do that, like really sit with those emotions and be present with them. He'll notice an immediate change. And then you just have him support and nurture that change over a period of time, right? You just want to continue doing that. Have him continue going inside. I can promise you, once he feels an internal shift as a result of his own internal reaction to himself, then he'll start to feel a little self-control. Because remember, most people that are in addictions are operating on a model of education that says the answers and solutions to your problems are outside of you. Your government, they're in your teachers, they're in a book, something outside of you is going to solve your problem. And the reverse has to happen. So what essentially you must become the environment. You must become the teacher to your own mind and your own body. You must learn to become what you need to be for your mind and body. If you're feeling a lot of fear and anxiousness and suffering and sadness inside, then you want to interact with your anger, your fear, your sadness. You want to interact with it very differently than you currently do. Most people, when they feel frustrated, they get frustrated and they get more frustrated. People, when they're sad, they feel sad and they get more sad. But try this. If you're hearing this now, try this. If you're feeling sadness, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling any low vibrational energy, sit with it and just speak these words. I'm with you. I love you. I will not abandon you, even if I do not understand you. When you think or speak those words, do so in an internal tone of voice, directing it towards your sadness, directing it towards your frustration, directing it towards your fear, towards your shame, towards your guilt. I'm with you. I love you, even if I do not understand you. The way in which you learn to communicate with your internal self becomes very important. You get to become the government of your own mind and body. You must become the government of your own mind and body. And only from a position of love and grace directed towards the parts of you that are in frustration and annoyance can you begin the process of transforming those old emotions. And once you start to change old emotions in your body, once you start to change the way you feel inside, you're going to get different ideas and information coming to you because you're shifting your vibration. You're shifting it from one frequency to another. And I've watched this happen to so many of our students again and again who come into our program, and they come in clinically depressed or suicidal, or they just come to want to make a change in their life. And they learn how to interact with their mind and body differently than the environment taught them to. Remember, your environment has taught you, your mom, your dad, the government, the teacher, the university, someone out there is going to make my life better for me. And you might find people in events and circumstances in the world that will contribute to the betterment of your life. You certainly will. There's lots of that in the world too. But most of you have been conditioned to accept that out there is going to give you the solutions to all of your difficulties and challenges. Seems I got a couple of super chats here. Oh, James, thank you so much for that super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you for that sticker. I love it. I'm just seeing if he left a question here. I don't see it. Good morning, guys. Got a question from Sandra. Thank you for that super chat, Sandra. A question. Over the last few months, I've been thinking a lot about getting a dog, but I talk myself out of it for various reasons. Can you please tell me if it would be appropriate? Thank you very much. Getting an animal is a very safe thing to do for you. It's still not, it's going to give you a level of safety and comfort that you may need, but it's also going to give you the opportunity to become for another being what you need to be for yourself at the current time. You're seeking to get this animal in part because you want someone to love in your life. Equally, you want to be loved. But I get directly that getting a dog for you would be a really powerful and beautiful experience for you, because you'll learn a lot about unconditional love from a dog. You'll learn a lot about unconditional love from dogs and from other animals too. But make sure, I'm being told to tell you to make certain it's not a replacement for the relationships that you have not had yet, that you've been seeking. Do not make your animal a replacement because it's been so difficult for you in other relationships. Don't make an animal replacement for the opportunity to have a fulfilling relationship with another human being. Wow, thank you so much for that. Question from James. Mom passed away. Does she have a message for me? Well, it's not, yeah, okay. Yeah, she's showing me like you on her knee as a young child. Like she's showing me this arc of life, the love of the life that she did not acknowledge. She's saying, I didn't acknowledge how much love that I had for you. I didn't acknowledge it fully. I would have liked to have loved you so much more. So I will do so now. I will do so now. She says she would like you to take up sewing. She says she would like you to take up sewing. Do it seriously. You were always interested in that when you were younger. Something about, yeah, sewing and putting things together. Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, Drusilla's a dog person. Precious. She wants to know how precious you will always be to her. Your mom, Winifred. She wants you to know you'll always be precious to her. Always. Let me be with you gently in the quiet. In the quiet, you will feel me with you gently. I love that. Someone asking question, will I be able, oh yeah, we got that. I have to scroll down. Of course you can. Yeah, someone's here, Faraday cages, growing food. Anything else? Well, make certain you've got a way to purify your own water. Make sure you got a way to purify your own water. We are at a very, humanity is such a wonderful creation. We are a wonderful manifestation of consciousness. Unfortunately, we've gotten disconnected from our natural way of being. People don't grow their own food. You're so conditioned to believe that your food only comes from a supermarket, so many. So learn to grow your own food, build a community, find others that want to do the same thing with you, and become creative together. You know, communities 150 years ago, and I'm not talking about going back in time because I love this technological age. I mean, look at where we all get to be together here. I love this technological age. I love the innovation that's unfolding right now. But unfortunately, this innovation in technology is, as beautiful as it is also being used to control, manipulate, and reorchestrate or redesign humanity into an image and likeness that is not very pleasant for a certain number of people, but certainly beneficial for those who are in charge of the stuff. But yeah, community is really important if you want to add to that. You want to add community to that. Golden age. Thank you so much for that super sticker. Really appreciate it. I love that. Amanda, glad you asked that, Sandra, as my friend is in the same position. Sandra asked something here. Yeah. Thank you so much. So Golden Age 777, thank you for that super sticker. Golden Age 77 asking, please help us understand the term old soul. An old soul is an individual that has reincarnated repeatedly, numerous times, and in each and every lifetime has made some progress towards what you would call the term self-realization. Self-realization means you are reconnecting to the nature and source of the life that is a part of you. So an old soul can be someone who's been like 30, 40, 50, 60, 100, 1,000 lifetimes on this planet in different forms, in different ways, and has learned from each and every one of them and has progressed themselves to a state of consciousness where they begin to realize that this world is not the ultimate state of being. So an old soul understands the difference between the physical world, the emotional world, the mental world, the spiritual world, and many dimensions. And they understand to some degree what is God, what is the life that beats your heart. And they aspire, an old soul aspires to rejoin with the Creator as one. That is the ultimate outcome of what you call an old soul, one who recognizes that union with the Creator is the ultimate pinnacle of consciousness available to you while in this physical dimension. Prior to that, the wisdom and the knowledge, the understanding of how to heal mind, body, and soul, how to be creative, how to be beneficial, how to assist others, how to be like the Creator itself, to embody unconditional love, compassion, kindness, and caring. That is the simplest definition of old soul that we can give you at this time. That's a really good question. Yes, thank you so much for that. We are there. Where are we here? There we go. I'm struggling with trusting my intuition. How do I work on that? Great question. In our Masterclass 101, we begin the process. If you want, you can take our Masterclass, but right now you can take a deck of cards. Take a deck of cards, playing cards, oracle cards, tarot cards, and lay them on a table in front of you. And just start off with 10 cards and lay the cards out on the table in front of you. Mix them around with your eyes closed, then lay them out again, and then put your hand over the card and allow your awareness to sense or feel what's on the other side of the card. Allow your awareness to sense or feel. If you need to put your hand lightly on the card, do that. But you can sense or feel what's on the other side of the card, and then allow to come up what comes up for you. And again, the challenge so many people feel, and why a lot of people fail in developing their intuition isn't because there's something wrong with you or that you don't have intuition. Everyone has intuition, okay? But it's like any skill. You have to practice it and practice it and practice it until it becomes functional. Because as a child, you had to learn to walk, you had to learn to talk, you had to learn to speak, you had to learn to tie your shoes, you had to learn to put clothes on. And those things took a period of time. Learning how to put your clothes on. Your parents probably did that for you for the first 2 or 3 years of your life. So please, when you start practicing developing your intuition, be patient with your body and mind, because you've got to teach them how to function that way, just like your body and mind were taught how to put a shirt on, how to put pants on, how to get water from a tap. Those things had to be learned and experienced. Intuition, which we call clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, that we call them the 4 clairs. So intuition has a range of different functions, right? Clear seeing, clear hearing, clear feeling, and clear knowing. So yeah, you set the cards before you and just work on it until you start getting impressions. Don't judge yourself if you don't get it right, because you're just beginning. And a lot of people stop. They do 4 or 5 cards, or they spend 5 or 6 days on it, and I can't do it right, and they stop. You didn't start walking when you were first born. You had to learn that skill. Even holding a spoon or a fork took your body time to learn that. It's going to take you time to develop these non-physical senses. So be patient, be kind to yourself, because these non-physical senses you were born with, everyone was born with these non-physical senses. Unfortunately, the environment captivated all of your attention. So most of your attention went on to your 5 physical senses. And those internal senses of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance were not developed. But every one of us was born with them. If you're a mother or a father and you're listening to this right now, think of how many times you're looking at your child and they're standing by the coffee table when they were really young, and you would say, "Don't touch that." And they would touch that. "I told you not to touch that," you'd say, but they weren't doing anything wrong. What they saw when you said, "Don't touch that," children are very telepathic between ages 0 and 5. They're very telepathic. They don't understand language. They understand images. And so a parent will say, "Don't touch that." And the child sees the picture, receives the picture from the parent's mind of them touching it, because the parent's thinking of them touching it and saying, "Don't touch that." So the child receives the picture in their mind of the parent showing them touch it. So the child touches it and looks at you, right? They touch it and they look at you. Did I understand your picture properly? So children understand images. So they are not doing anything wrong when they're touching something that you say, "Don't touch," because they see you transmitting a picture of them touching it. And they think that that's what you want them to do. They respond to images, not language. Children understand language. It's a very wonderful consideration. But all that is part of that process of learning intuition. If parents understood that children received images, that children could receive feelings, that children can receive a knowing from the parents, that so much nonverbal communication can be cultivated. And these are non-physical sensations: clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. And you want to develop those. You really do. But keep working on it. If you really want to develop them, join the masterclass. March the 6th, I think March the 6th or March the 9th, we have our 101 Beginners Masterclass in Mediumship, where you learn how to begin to develop intuition, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. You get on that train of learning the skills you can practice to develop those things. Everyone has them. Most people just have not had them developed. It's like learning to teach your body to walk or talk. You must teach the body, the brain, the awareness to develop those faculties. They're just non-physical faculties. But really great question. Thank you so much for asking. Amanda's asking, when we change our vibration as parents, does it change the future outcomes for our children? Absolutely. Absolutely. When you're in a state of love and grace and you're living from that energy, excitement, playfulness, compassion, hopefulness, children receive that energy. Everything you think and feel as a parent, is being broadcast into the environment. And everybody's thinking, we're all doing this, not just parents. Every one of us, what we think and feel is being broadcast into the environment and into your body. And there's been so much research to prove that thoughts and emotions organize matter, that feelings orchestrate changes. Dr. Usuru Emoto did great work on the messages in the water, right? Showing clearly that water could respond. So there's no question about what you just asked, that yes, absolutely. If you're in a certain state, you're in a certain emotion, certain thoughts, certain feelings will indeed affect your children. Indeed, your thoughts, feelings, and emotions affect everybody around you. It's why you see these ashrams around the world, these Buddhist temples, the Shaolin monks, where they create a system of learning and education that's very well structured. Only certain thoughts, certain actions, practices happen in those places. As a result, the consciousness of the individuals, the superhuman acts of Shaolin monks, or the superhuman acts of yogis who've learned to cultivate a deep level of concentration. These are normal capabilities that everyone possesses, but few develop. So you want to be mindful of cultivating for yourself, even the environment in your own mind. Your mind is an environment that you must learn to influence. Right now, your minds, for most of you, your minds have been influenced by the world. Your mind has been made up by the world, influenced by it all the time. And some of you have lost that ability to influence your own minds. And you're being constantly influenced by this thing and that thing and this trend and that trend. And you've forgotten who you are. And the mental health condition or the mental disease condition around the planet right now reflects that. There's so much unhappiness. There's so much challenge. There's so much struggle for so many people because they don't realize that they can control their own thinking. They can control their own thoughts. They can change their own emotional energy. Great question, Amanda. I'm really glad you asked it. Thank you so much. Drusilla, thank you for that super sticker. I really appreciate it. Someone wants to hear from their dad. Hang on. Mariana. Wow. Hang on. He says, I want you to feel me in your heart more. Do not think of me as dead anymore. I am in your heart. I am with you. Feel me in your heart right now. Right now. Feel me in your heart right now. I am with you. Weep not anymore. Do not be sad. I'm with you. I'm with you. This is what he wants you to know, that he's with you. That he's with you. So do not think that he's gone. Stop thinking that. He's with you. He says he'll be with you until you are willing to stand strong. I love that. Thank you so much. Here we go. Hi, guys. Question. Do you have a message for me? I'm in a bad place right now and not sure what to do. Thank you for that question. And I want to say, first of all, much love to you. Who'd that come from anyway? Who's the soul that sent that question? Yeah, I can't quite meet. Olivia. Hi, Olivia. So yes, Olivia, close your eyes. Let's do this together, okay? Let's do this together. And anybody else who wants to participate, do this. Close your eyes gently and take your right hand and place it physically over your heart. Physically over your heart, and take a slow, deep breath. And as you exhale, let your body relax. Give your body permission to relax. It will happen automatically if you just inhale, exhale. Allow your body to relax. And keep breathing slowly and deeply. And with each breath, allow your body to relax a little more with each breath. Let the muscles in your shoulders relax. Let the muscles on your face relax. Just give all the muscles in your body permission to relax. Now turn your attention, as the body relaxes, turn your attention to those unpleasant feelings that you have inside. Turn your attention to those unpleasant feelings that you have inside. And allow your awareness to observe where those feelings are, where they live inside your body. Where do those feelings live inside your body? Get close to them. They're not going to hurt you. Be close to those feelings. And think and speak these words to those feelings. Even though I do not understand you, I'm willing to love you. I will not ignore you. I will not forsake you, even if I do not understand you. And just stay connected to those feelings, thinking and speaking those words in a tone of voice that sounds like you really mean it. I'm with you. I love you, even if I do not understand you. And just repeat that sequence of words, directing them at those unpleasant feelings in your body right now. What most people try to do is get away from uncomfortable feelings, and your uncomfortable feelings need you to love them. Your uncomfortable feelings need you to love them, because they're memories stored in your body. Most emotions are memories stored in your body. When you bring yourself to them in this way and you say to those emotions that are unpleasant, it's okay. I'm with you. Even if I don't know why you're feeling this way, I'm willing to love you. You learn to develop a compassionate and loving dialogue towards your emotions that are unpleasant inside you. Those unpleasant emotions were not what you were born with. They were given to you by the environment. You learned them from somewhere, but they're not who you are. And those emotions need you to interact with them compassionately, gently, and kindly, so that they begin the process of transformation. And when you learn how to affect change in your own emotions, you then start to realize you can begin to remake your mind and your body. At the point where you realize you have authority to transform and transmute your own emotional energy, when you begin to experience that, you'll begin to wake up. And your body and mind will begin to surrender itself to you, and you won't feel so trapped by the emotions. The emotions are aspects of your being that need you, through your love and your creativity, to transform them from one state to another, because you cannot create new emotions, but you can change emotions from one state into another. Isn't that exciting? Let us know in the comment section. For anybody who did that, let us know what happened for you in the comment section when you did that, when you interacted with your internal negative emotions that way. Please leave a question, your experience in the comment section, so other people can read them. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Question from Blaine. What was the biggest lesson from my grandfather on his earth? Hang on. So there's a lot of questions coming. What was the biggest lesson from my grandfather on his earth walk? He said, remembering who I was the moment I left my body. He's saying, remembering who I was the moment I left my body. He's also saying, now when I have come back, I'm going to learn to remember myself while I'm in my body. It's so much more beautiful than I ever imagined. I'm returning to the body so that I can know this in the flesh, so that I can realize this in my life, to realize this love, this bliss that I have experienced, to bring it into my life, into a physical embodiment. That's where he is right now. So he's already coming back into incarnation to embody this bliss that he feels into the flesh. He wants to realize it in his world. That was the biggest lesson from his life, was the moment he realized who he was when he left it. Now he wants to live that. He wants to live that in his whole life. Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Blaine. Drusilla is saying my shoulder pain is gone. Lauren is saying it's certainly helping me in dealing with uncomfortable feelings. No matter how uncomfortable your feelings may get, for anybody listening to this, no matter how uncomfortable your internal feelings get, if you can just be present with them, no matter how intense it might be, because I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, be with those uncomfortable feelings and say, no matter how uncomfortable, speak these words to your uncomfortable feelings. No matter how uncomfortable you feel, I will not abandon you. Speak or think these words to even your most uncomfortable feelings. If they change and shift or get more intense or less intense, just communicate that thought. No matter how you feel, I will not abandon you. And be that consciousness for your own emotions and watch what happens. Please share what's happening for you there. For any of you that have done this, please share what happened, what your experience was. I feel so lost and overwhelmed about my career. Do my guides have any advice? Again, that feeling of lost and overwhelmed is what's keeping you stuck. The feelings, the emotions of lost and overwhelmed are keeping you stuck and blocked from seeing what you're capable of manifesting. You need to alter the energy of these emotional conditions to open the doorway to the opportunity that you know is available to you. But you must not deny or ignore the emotions, the frustrations you're feeling. You need to go to them. you need to transform these internal energies so that the function of energy shifts the conditions in your external world, as the conditions in your external world are intimately and directly connected to the internal emotions that you hold inside your bodies. If you are able to shift the emotional energy within your consciousness, you will shift the existing conditions in your environment. So again, what was just done a few minutes ago with them is to do that process. Go to those frustrating, annoyed emotions and say, it's okay if you're frustrated. It's okay you're annoyed. It's okay you're overwhelmed. I love you anyway. And the very act, your very act to be willing to love that which is uncomfortable will change it. The very willingness to extend your love to negative emotions inside your body, the very willingness to say, no matter how bad you feel in there, I love you, even if I don't understand you, and I will not ignore you. I'm going to continue to give you love. You'll start to shift the energy in your body. And once you start changing the energy in your body, then what you transmit to the world begins to change. That's what starts to happen. And then your environment will start to change. And we see this happen quite often in our master classes, especially the master class 102, where you learn how to let go of old, dense emotion. I've seen this happen in readings where people come and book a reading and they're in a very terrible state, and their guides and their angels come through and direct them through a process, and their lives are completely transformed in a single session. Just doing a reading like that blows their mind. You don't have to go around suffering, and you don't have to try to ignore your suffering. You can transcend it. You can change your emotional energy from one state to another. That is not being taught to anybody in school systems and universities. They do not teach you that you can change your emotion. If you want to go to a Shaolin temple, or you want to go to an ashram in India, you can go to those gurus and learn practices where you learn to change and transform the way your mind thinks and the way your emotions work. They'll teach you that there. But in the Western world, in your day-to-day life, you can learn it right where you are right here, right now. You can learn to change your emotions in a most beautiful and simple way. It doesn't have to be a complex process. You've got all the resources. You're skilled enough to do this, just to go in and be present with your emotions. And they can be so horrific sometimes. I've had emotions of absolute terror in my past. I've had emotions of complete terror. That when I finally faced it and went, it's okay to be terrified, I love you. The very first time they told me to do that, the very first time I was told to love that part that was terrified, it blew my mind. Do it. Do it right now. Go inside where your emotions are most unpleasant and say to them, I'm with you. I'm willing to love you, even if I don't understand you. And watch how the emotional energy changes. Because once you can change your emotions, you can change your life. Once you can change your energy, you'll change your life. And it is the most beautiful and wonderful thing when you reawaken to the power that you have in being able to control your world using your energy. And everybody knows the truth when they hear it. Oh, thank you very much. I'm so grateful. Thank you for that. Thank you for the birds and the hearts and the flowers. My biological, excuse me, who's coming through here? I got this really old person coming in here. There's a very old person coming in here saying, listen to the wisdom. Listen to the wisdom. Listen to the wisdom and feel the truth. Listen to the wisdom and feel the truth. It's funny how that happens, eh? I thought there was something caught in my throat, and this old person just wanted to come in and share that. Isn't that beautiful? So wonderful. Yeah, I understand that. Sorry, just scrolling through questions. A lot of questions here. Remember, you can always use the different features to get a question asked. So I don't get your question today. Someone says, I'm struggling with trusting my intuition. Well, we answered that one a little earlier. Every one of you has intuition. Every one of you has intuition, and you can develop it. But most people don't want to put the effort and time in. In our masterclass series, we devote weeks in meditation and practice to develop these things. And we got a number of students on both YouTube and Facebook, TikTok right now that are present. For the students that are here now, please share your thoughts about the master classes with the people that are here, how they affected your life. What impact did it make on you? How did it change your relationships? How did it change your body, your mind? Share your experiences with the people here that are struggling, because there's no need to struggle if there's an avenue you can go down that will liberate you from your suffering. And there's lots of that now, right? Question from Lauren. Is it good to have dragons help me clear out my chakras? Yes, it is. Yes, it is very good. In your case, Lauren, in your case, their energy is very powerful. For those of you that are wondering about dragons and fairies and guides and angels and multiple beings, multidimensional beings, they are existing in consciousness. They are different frequencies or bandwidths of consciousness, much like you can change your radio station or you can change your television station. Dragons, giants, fairies, different civilizations exist on different frequencies of energy that are imperceptible to our senses or our physical reality. They're out of phase, so to speak, with what we perceive. And you're going to be hearing more about multidimensional beings in the coming months, because there's a lot of them now intersecting with this dimension as we're starting to intersect with theirs, as we explore beyond the realm of what is familiar. There's a lot of mediums on this planet that are tapping into these realms. And now we're opening doorways to species, galactic families that we've been disconnected from because we've been so bunged up with our own limitations, right? But yeah, it's a good energy for you to connect to, Lauren. What is a super chat? Oh, I'm sorry. For those of you on TikTok, you want to use the Linktree link in my bio on my TikTok page if you want to contribute or donate to this live stream. But the super chat is a function on my YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel, you can click super chat and you can make a small donation or have your question prioritized so that it gets answered. If you really want your question answered, you can prioritize it. We really do try to get to as many questions as we can, but some people, if you have a really important question that you must have answered right now, use those features. Super chat or the Linktree link in my bio, and you get a connection directly to PayPal, which I check periodically, and I can see if anybody sent me a request on PayPal here, a question here. Let's see what we got. No, sorry. There we go. Yeah. We did have a question. Somebody asked a question about trading. They want it to be a private question. So if you have a private question, use the PayPal link in my Linktree bio, and you can ask if you want a question answered privately. You don't want it answered here, use that, okay? Use that feature. You can get a question answered privately. And again, there's so much information. When you ask a single question, oh, thank you so much, Serge. I really appreciate that. If you have a question, there's usually a lot more to your single questions. I find a flood of information. When somebody asks a personal question about themselves or life, I get this stream of information that just pours in, and it's far too much information to deliver live. And you want the time. If you want, I would recommend that you book a half hour, 1 hour reading with me and take the opportunity to go really deep into the information that's available to each and every one of you that we can't go into as deeply here because we want to be fair to everybody that's here. Oh, thank you, Brown Eagle, for that super sticker. Really appreciate it. Someone saying, I'm overwhelmed with emotions. I'm overwhelmed by emotions. It feels like crying out of sympathy for myself. Yeah. Again, whatever those emotions are, Daniela, whatever the emotions start, because when you first start to engage your emotions intentionally, when you get close to your emotions, say, no matter what you feel, remember, you are not your emotions. Emotions are the energy that you have to enact creation in this world. I want to repeat that. Emotions are not who you are. They're the energy that you have to enact creation in this world. So what Danielle is just saying here is that she's feeling all these overwhelming emotions coming up. And what you want to do is you want to feel them. You want to be present with them and say, I am with you. I will not ignore you. I will not abandon you. I will not forsake you. You want to stay present with the painful emotions, the sad emotions. You need to stay lovingly present with them. And in the act of staying lovingly present with those emotions, you will feel them beginning to change within you, because now you're giving them love instead of denial. Most people try to ignore uncomfortable emotions, to deny them, or to blame others for them. But if you can stop that old model and get close to them and say, no matter how intense my anger is, I'm going to stay present with it and simply communicate. I'm willing to take care of you. I'm willing to love you. And you'll find the energy begins to change because the model by which you're interacting with them has changed. So again, if the emotions get more intense or more difficult, then stay with them. No matter how intense you get, no matter how frightened you get, no matter depressed you get, I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to love you. I will not ignore you. You will be amazed at what starts to happen when you learn that skill, because you have to develop that skill to stay close. Because you can have emotions that are so intense. You know, people that are self-harming have emotions that are so intense and so painful. I used to do that years ago. You know, I lived there. I was in that realm. And I now know that you can get close to those emotions and say, it's okay. It's okay that you're feeling afraid. It's okay you're feeling hatred. It's okay you're feeling depressed. It's okay you're feeling frightened. I will not abandon you. I will sit with you. I will love you. Learning how to change your own energy is the key here. What most people try to do is force other people to change to accommodate their feelings. And you need to learn to shift and change your own emotional energy. It becomes so important to do that. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brown Eagle. I'm just going down here. Someone's saying, Delinda's asking, how can I remove unwanted negative energies that interfere with my life? This is a great question. You don't want to remove emotions. You want to learn to transform them. You want to learn how to transform your energy. So the unwanted emotions, doesn't matter what they are, whoever you are. I mean, I'm answering, who is this? This is Delinda. So Delinda, you don't want to remove them. Feel them right now. Like, close your eyes, take a slow, deep breath, and relax your body, and bring your awareness close to those emotions right now. Let yourself become familiar. Where do they live in your body? Bring yourself close to those emotions. Go really close to them. When you feel those emotions and you're really close to them, just simply think this thought to them. But when you think this thought to those emotions, think it in a tone of voice that sounds like you really mean it. And the thought you think to them is this: I'm with you now, and I'm willing to love you, even if I do not understand you. I'm with you now, and I'm willing to love you, even if I do not understand you. And repeat that slowly and meaningfully to those emotions, and observe how they begin to shift or change. And then share that change with us in the comment section. Write what you experienced. But do that several times, but really mean it. Like, I'm with you. I will not ignore you. I'm willing to love you, even if I do not understand you. You want to form a communication with those emotions, because you're now directing energy at those emotions that's love-based. When you direct an energy that's love-based at an emotion that's negative, the energy begins to change. So please, Delinda, share what you experienced. Do that for about a minute. I'm with you. I love you. I will not abandon you. You want to use words and language that represent the change you want to experience. In this case, you want to experience the energy shifting from unpleasant to creative. Right? Share that with us. Someone saying the master classes are powerful. It has really helped me to deal with many things in my life. Looking forward to doing more. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm not sure what your name is, Energy Live, other than the username, but we love all our students. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to be a facilitator for the wisdom of knowledge of the Ascended Masters. multidimensional beings. It's a real blessing because they teach the classes. The sessions that all of our mediums do are based on the connections they have to their guides, their angels, the divine entities that they work with. And you will experience that firsthand, how the masters commune with us and share the wisdom and knowledge that they have accumulated from many, many lifetimes. Dolinda's saying, sorry for not a clear question. I was asking about negative entities or ancestors. Same thing. Same things. Same things. Negative entities, okay, are a low vibrational field. And a lot of people are being possessed right now and interfered with. But again, you recognize that negative entity and you say to it, I'm willing to extend love to them. Like extend love. They will run like scalded cats because they're living off the fear. They're living off the guilt. They're living off shame. They're living off anger. Those are the emotions that these lower vibrational demonic entities live off of. So when you suddenly say, I'm going to extend my love to you, it's like giving them vinegar. Literally, I'm willing to love you even if I do not understand you. And you can also use this statement, I release you with love and grace. I release you with love and grace. I release you with love and grace. But the extension of love, not the extent, if you try to get rid of them, you're actually giving them more energy. It must be done with love and grace. It cannot be done with violence and aggression. It cannot be done with trying to put up a defense. It's the extension of love. They don't like that energy. Watch what happens, okay? So do that, Delinda. Sense those entities around you right now and just say, I extend my love and grace to you and I release you with love and grace. But extend love, not your frustration. Watch what happens and share your experience with that energy. And the first thing that was suggested to you is will work equally well, right? They don't like their vibration being messed around with. Yes. Bianca Taylor, send me a friend request or inbox me for a reading. Okay, I'll see if I can remember to do that. Just go to my website. Go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com or torontomedium.com. Go to those sites and you can book your reading and choose your own date and time from the calendar. The reading is a very simple process. You have 10 questions. You get to ask 10 questions. You bring a bit of water to the reading with you so you have water to drink, because when you go through a reading, the energies that come in are very powerful. And your energy is going to shift during that time. You're going to connect to your guides, your angels, and the ones that are here to assist you and help you on the journey of your awakening, right? Your freedom. But go to my website to register. Delinda, these are energies of individuals that you were with in your last lifetime, that you had a negative connection with them, and they're still attached to you. They're still energetically attached to you. They're trying to get from you what they think that you were supposed to give them. So in this case, you want to literally release them with love and grace, like go into a state of what you call love and simply communicate that energy. I release you from my life with love and grace. I release you from my life with love and grace. I release you from my life with love and grace. Yeah, sorry, I just got a message coming from my mother. Thank you so much. I understand, Mom. Okay. Someone's saying, so lost right now. Do you have a message for me? If you've been listening, if you've been listening and following along, listen, going inside yourself, go to the emotions that you don't like inside yourself, go to the pain inside yourself, but go with the intention to love that part of yourself that is suffering. Go to that part that feels lost inside you. Go to it right now. Get close to it and say, even though you are lost, I am with you. Speak these words to the part that feels lost. Let us speak those words to you. No matter how lost you feel, we are with you. We will never abandon you. We will never forsake you. We are always with you. You want to get into a relationship with the parts of yourself that are suffering, a loving relationship with them. Start to care about your internal self the way the environment didn't. Because a lot of you are trying to find someone out there, something out there to fix you. And there's nothing wrong with you. In truth, there's nothing wrong with you. You've just been misled in terms of understanding who you are, what your mind is, what your emotions are, what your body is. And you need to learn how to interact with your mind and body differently than the world has trained you to. And love is the way, like the energy of love. That is what you are. You as a soul are a function of love. It's what you really are. Remember that you are a function of love. Thank you so much. Delinda's saying, if I book a reading with you, can you help me to release them? Absolutely. Absolutely. We've had entities released. We had low vibrational energies. We had lifetimes of karma clear out. We've had emotional pain that people have been going through for decades gone in a single reading. Your guides and your angels, the ascended masters that work through me, will bring you to the place that you need to arrive at. And as long, all you got to do is follow their instructions. They'll take you through processes and practices in a very short time frame where you get to actually release those types of things from your energy field. Remember, lower vibrational energies are infesting a lot of people right now. These entities, these demons, these things that are on the planet right now, they're because you've been bombarded with TV shows, you've been bombarded with entertainment that's violent and aggressive and doubtful and mistrusting and sowing fear into your minds and hearts. As a result, that fear, that doubt, that stuff that's being sowed in your mind makes a place for them to inhabit your life and influence and affect you. Turn off your televisions, get away from things that feed you negatively. If you're going to watch entertainment, watch something that's uplifting and inspiring. Watch shows that are creative and innovative. Don't watch things that are gossipy and you can't trust so-and-so and so-and-so. You can trust them now, but you can't trust them later. There's so much garbage being fed into people's mind, and they're seeding your mind. There's a huge seeding of your minds going on where they're seeding fear and mistrust and guilt and shame and sadness. They're seeding it in your minds through entertainment. As a result, you hold those energies, and those energies act as spaces where these entities can attach themselves to you. You must learn to shift your energy from fear to love, from sadness to creativity, from impatience to playfulness. You need to learn how to control your own energy and stop letting your televisions, your radios, and the things in the world manipulate you and control you. If you're going to do that, if you're going to look for something in the world, then find the things in this world that will inspire you, guide you, empower you to self-reflect, to evolve, to heal your mind, to heal your body, to learn the value of what you are as a spiritual entity. And the truth about what each and every one of you is, the truth is that you are love. That is the truth of what you are in your essence. You are love. You are a manifestation of divine consciousness. That's who you truly are. You are a manifestation of divine consciousness. That's who you really are. And you need to remember that. And then you need to install that awareness into your mind, into your emotions, and into your body. You need to bring your divinity into your mind and body. You need to replace what you've been given with what is divine in yourself. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Master. Kelly's asking, hello, my beautiful friend. I'm wondering if I should go to New York to visit. I get an immediate yes, my friend, but I'm not sure if I should bring the puppies or if I should even go. I just get an immediate yes. Put your fear aside. You're letting your fear decide for you. It's not your fault. Most people have been trained to live in fear now. It's why you see people looting stores and going on these massive rampages. It's not because they're evil beings. It's because their minds have been seeded with thoughts and emotions of fear. All these shows, The Walking Dead, The 100, there's so many different shows that are on TV right now. Supernatural, these shows that teach you to be terrified and afraid, and there's always danger and there's something bad and look out in the world. These shows are conditioning you into living a life of fear. You don't realize it until it's done. Then you wonder, why am I feeling this way today? I wasn't feeling like this when I woke up. Now it's not, because the night before, the day before, you were watching something that put that in your consciousness. You want to get away from things that sow fear and doubt and guilt and shame into your mind. You want to get into things that inspire you and uplift you and empower you. Get around people, events, circumstances that are love-based and creative and uplifting and guiding you to your highest potential of self. Right? You want to do that. But yeah, go for it. Have fun down in New York. It's going to be a fun time. Someone's asking, what will Pluto in Aquarius reveal in my life? What will Pluto in Aquarius reveal in her life? Can someone tell me that? They're saying that the fundamental joy that you have been missing, you will have a window that will open upon it, that you may go through this window back to your fundamental joy. This is what will be the opportunity for you with these conjunctive energies. That's what they're telling me, with those conjunctive energies for you. Wow, that's really cool. Nobody's asked that question before. Question, my sister died of brain cancer in 2020. Anything? Absolute relief. She has been so happy since. Absolute relief. Yes. Yeah. She missed sitting with you and talking. She missed the phone calls. She says, thank you. Thank you for being with her. Thank you for that time. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. She said, would you tell her that I come to her often? She gets sad. Tell her not to be sad, for I'm with her then. I'm with her then. This happens quite a bit. Yeah, I know. Something about a pink sweater and keep the bracelet. She hopes you keep the bracelet, right? That place where you feel sadness every time you think of her, that's where she's with you. She's trying to connect with you energetically. And if you close your eyes, you'll get messages and sensations from her in that moment. A lot of people don't realize that when you leave your physical body, you don't cease to exist. You just don't have a physical body anymore. Anyway, your sister's very close to you. Always will be. She's very grateful for the time you spent with her in the hospital. Question from Brown Eagle Woman. My daughter passed of an overdose in October. Do they have a message for me? Or can you tell me if he's close? You said my daughter's passed, but then you shifted to my son. It's an interesting way to ask that question. Yeah. So, yeah, so much regret at that moment. He's still in limbo right now. Yeah, they're still in limbo right now. When you, because things like I got to be careful what I say here, because I don't want to get into trouble with the authorities, but I have to say this. When I was suicidal as a child and as a young man, when I was suicidal, my suicide wasn't because I wanted to die. My impulses were because I did not like the feelings I was having. I did not know how to deal with them. I had no training at all. As most people are dealing with mental disease issues, because it's not mental health, it's mental disease. People that are struggling with mental disease issues, it's a function primarily of not understanding how to interact with or deal with those aspects of energy or emotion inside, or how to deal with the past experiences that have created those energies, or the TV shows and stuff that seeded terror and horror into your mind as a young child. As a young child, I used to watch shows like Combat and the Rat Patrol and military shows where people are killing and harming each other all the time. And you just don't, again, it's not a fault or a flaw. I'm just going to connect to his energy now. I'm going to ask the Ascended Master Jesus to interact with your son, to liberate him from this place of stuckness, to give him the grace to remember himself, that he is love, to be free from this place fully and completely, to awaken to the light that he is. Now I'm feeling relief. Now I'm feeling relief. Yes. So anyway, I want to complete that thought. So that process for me, I understand. It says my activity has been restricted because of the subject matter that's come up. Anyway, so that process that I went through was because I did not understand how to deal with my own emotions. And the Ascended Masters, my guardian angel, and many others that have begun teaching me about 5 years ago, demonstrated very simple and easy ways to use to heal the pain, the anger, the frustrations, the sadness, the depression, the anxiety, to interactively change your own energy. And again, it's no fault or flaw if you do not know how to do something. You can still learn it. You can learn how to change your energy lovingly, gently, compassionately, kindly. You don't have to attack your emotions or deny them with the substances that you may have to use to get rid of those discomforting feelings. You need to bring yourself lovingly to them, and you have to learn to do that. You need to learn to teach your mind and teach your body how to be receptive to you. And you'll learn all that if you join us in the master classes. And you'll learn that here too. There's so much information that comes through here. It's incredible. Woke up the other day at 4 a.m. Sat in the living room. For what felt like a moment, but then it was 9 a.m. Yeah, time shifting. When you shift your energy into a high vibrational state, you're going to experience more time in your life. It sounds really strange. Time flies by when you're having fun. When you raise your vibration, you have more time in your life. And if you're in a low vibrational state, you'll have less time. Time will drag on painfully. It sounds like the opposite of what it is, but you experience time very fast in a shorter period because you actually have more time when you're in a high vibrational state. You experience a long, short time. Everything takes forever because you're experiencing less time in your life in that emotional energy. Change your energy, you'll change your experience of time. Hi, Trish. Good to see you, Don. Someone's asking, can I ask Archangel Raphael why I cannot receive from this? This seems simple, cold. Thank you. Again, learning to listen is a skill. Most people, Jesus talks about this a lot when he says, people don't hear me because they try to hear me with their physical ears. I am in you. I'm in your heart. I'm within you. You must learn to hear without ears and see without eyes, which is clairvoyance and clairaudience. You must learn to not try to hear with physical ears. Go inside. Go away from the world. I am there with you now. I'm there with you now. It's really cool. Where are we now? Yeah, I get that happening. Well, guys, it's been a real blast. I have some other things coming up. I'd like to ask my angels why my boss kind of picked on me today. Please. I get the feeling that she has an issue with me. Thanks. Sandy, she doesn't have an issue with you. You are holding on to emotions that attract or invite that attention. You are holding on to emotions that or invite or attract that attention. Shift your energy. Learn to shift your emotions. The thoughts you have, oh, she's picking on me, that feeling of being persecuted, change that energy. Release it from the body. Because you can release old emotions from the body, and you can bring in new energy into the body, right? Very, very simple. I hope we have a great day too, Drusilla. Thank you so much. And to all my TikTok family, thank you guys for coming out. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the meditation. I know there's so many questions here, guys. I would love to get to them all, but we're not going to be able to do that. Come back tomorrow, 10 a.m. We're live Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to wish you all much love. Have yourselves a joyful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.